Welcome guys, this is my fourth video tutorial on how to set up profit trailer and PTManager indicators to use just a slightly better alternative to 3 commas. As you know, profit trailer allows multiple different strategies to get in and out of coins and trades, so I prefer to use profit trailer. It allows me to manage my risk better, but one of the things that's very important is how to create alerts that work on profit trailer. So let's get into this. So the first thing that I need to tell you is that I use a large number of pairs as potential buys. I then limit my pot into max pairs according to the market conditions. Sometimes I have 5 max pairs, sometimes I have 10 max pairs. So what I'm going to show you is how do I get the initial list and how do I set up all my alerts at the same time. So initially you can go here to possible buys and you have the whole list of pairs that can be used, right? In this little column you have buy strategies, and you can see here different buy strategies. In this case, alpha is now under the low BB 15 minutes. It's now under the stochastic RSI. EMA spread is not yet flipped to positive, so this is still in blue. And my strategy in this at the moment is either I have these 3 together or I have a PTManager long being fired. As you can see here, PTManager long is currently red, so it has not fired. And if you go here to signals, you can actually see which signals have been fired latest. As I have actually run out of my premium account, my alerts have stopped firing. So I'm going to reset up all my alerts so that they start firing again. As you can see here, it says what time it started, the provider, in this case TradingView, the pair, the type of exchange. There are 3 types of exchanges. You can have Binance for spot, Binance futures for futures USDT, and Binance futures coin for coin M futures. Then very important is that you have here the labels that matches exactly what you have on your alert. So let's get to it. Initially I want to know which are the most active pairs, so the ones that have the most volume. You don't want to get stuck on a coin that's either too new or too volatile, or something in between. Usually people choose the top 50 on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. In my case, I'm going to choose the ones that have the biggest volume out of the Binance Futures account. So Binance Futures shows here, it can actually filter by volume descending. So Ethereum has been the one with the highest volume by far, BNB second, XRP. So in a way you already have here a ranking, right? So what I do is I export the data, pressing this button here. So once the data is exported, you open up in Excel or whatever spreadsheet manager you want, and I'm going to filter out the coins that I know I don't want to trade. So for example, this one, I know I don't want to trade a couple of these, so I'm going to remove the quarterlies. Let me see if there is any more. There is no more in this list. Then I'm going to look into ordering this by volume. So for example, from largest to smallest, so descending order. You can see here I have a good sample size. Some of these coins I don't really like. Some of them are really nice. Some of them are pure scams, like I don't want to trade this. But you can still ride the waves. You can still ride the hype. So if you want to trade these coins, just bear in mind that some of them have enormous potential, have good development teams, have good products, have good promises, while some of them actually are absolutely horrible trash shitcoins. So it's up to you to choose which ones you actually want to trade. Also bear in mind that some of these coins might have specific rules. So as you know, you need to have at least a position of $10 to start. Okay, that's a position size. Of course, it takes into consideration your leverage, so from there. But some coins such as I think YFI, not YFII, but YFI requires you, some coins requires you to buy a full coin. So that sometimes can be problematic because if your buys are too small, you're not able to buy a full coin. So therefore it's kind of pointless to have it here. So anyway, I'm going to use this list of 95, 94 coins, and I'm going to create alerts for all of these using QuickAlerts. So QuickAlerts is an add-on for TradingView. I paid for it many years ago. I don't really know how much I paid, but as I have it, might as well use it, right? So main idea here is that you refresh TradingView, and it will say QuickAlerts import export enabled. From here, I will want to make sure I have the right config according to what I want. So in this case, I'm using V4. I'm going to use high time filter 5 minutes. I'm going to use time frame 5, RSI. This is config settings that you can choose whatever you want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to QuickAlerts and I'm going to export alerts. This will give me a basic template of what I need to fill up to re-import them into my TradingView account. One additional step that I really recommend to use is to delete everything else you have. So I'm going to remove all alerts that I have, because every time you import alerts into QuickAlerts, it just tries to add, change, remove every single thing it detects. So it might take a long time for this to actually set up like 90, 100, 200, 400 alerts. So it might take a couple of hours actually to finish it. So by removing them like this, you start with a clean slate. It's much easier. So the file that I exported from QuickAlerts basically is as follows. It can be a bit messy, and you need to know how to manipulate Excel into creating your own way, okay? So as I already had a couple of alerts set up before, you can see here I have, for example, 1 inch versus BTC for spot trading, and I have 1 inch USDT perpetual for USDT futures trading. So I have the same coin but in different environments. As you can see on the right here, I have the alert message. This is where you actually put your token that comes from buying the add-on for TradingView integration. Here we have the pair, 1 inch BTC. It's valid for 60 seconds, and the label is, in this case, PSAR long. This is according to my strategy, what I have on my settings. And as I told before, you can have different exchanges, in this case Binance, Binance Futures, or Binance Futures Coin. You can see here the 3 of them. So main idea here is that if you create some kind of string that concatenates the whole thing together, you can easily use Excel to have this set up for you very quickly. So I'm going to show you, based on my other export from Profit Trailer on those 94 pairs, how I recreate this string needed. I start up by copying this. I can copy up to here, and I go into my other spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, I know now, I can paste here, I know now what pairs I want to trade, and I know a basic syntax on how to create this. So what I do here is, for example, I know this first part is just the exchange and the name of the coin. So in this case, I want to trade all of these coins, right? So I'm going to start by doing, for example, equals Binance, and I'm going to do concatenation with Ethereum, for example, and I'm going to use USDT perp. Okay, so now if I scroll down into this, I know I have every single pair marked into perpetual pairs. Now I also want to use spot trading because I have a bot test mode using BTC as a pair. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use A2, and instead of this I'm going to use BTC. And again I'm going to go down. I'm going to delete these that are T. Okay, so now I have all my pairs versus BTC. I have all my pairs versus USDT. And now I need to also create a name for my alert. So this is what appears on your trading view. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write PT for profit trailer, long, and I'm going to add the name of the coin. So that's it. I'm going to actually just do it till here. And now you know all my coins are named like this. The first line that you have on the spreadsheet, it tells you the default settings. Everything that's not filled will be using the default settings. So in this case, what I'm going to do is every single one will use 1 minute. I'm going to create this all in active mode, so they're all going to be active. The PSAR indicator I'm using is the Canadian CEO PSAR v4.4 verify. And now this is very important. I need to use here the same settings that I have configured onto my indicator. I've added here my indicator settings, so now I'm going to replicate what's under here. 5, then 5, 67, 0, true. Here I'm going to put 15, 1, true, 5, 50, 6, 20, true, 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 true. This will mean all of my alerts will be set up according to this. If I want to have specific coin pairs settings for each one of them, what I have to do is simply, I will imagine do this and I say, okay, for Dodge, or no, for XRP, I'm going to use, I don't know, 15. And for ETC, I'm going to use 60, or for whatever. And then I just create exclusions to my default settings. In this case, I don't care about that. I'm just going to use the default settings for all of them. But I could potentially set up all my alerts according to Canadian CEOs, TODs, masses, configs, according to each pair. The action is going to be long, because that's what appears on the alert, and the subscription is going to be long. I'm going to have this once per bar close. Again, we are using candle minutes 1 minute, so this is going to be the next minute after it has fired. And here I need to put my string. So in order for QuickAlerts to use line breaks, you need to use this character. This character is called till in my language, so I'm going to say it's called till. Okay. So what you have to do is I need to again create a string. So I'm going to concatenate this. I want the token, which is this is going to be your token, whatever they sent you via email. Position open, pair, and this is the important part. So from here, I'm going to say I want to create a token, and I'm going to use A2. And this will replace this, and I'm going to use USDT perp. Valid for this long, it's Binance Futures, la la la, all good. And now I need to finish this one. So now what happens is I have USDT perp. This is matching what I have here, USDT perp. And now what I have is I just need to replicate this all across my table. I'm not going to set up the BTC ones just yet because I want to change them and analyze them one by one. So I'm just going to use these ones. The rest of the things are basically, do I want open-ended. These are all the settings on the alert. Open-ended, true. I don't want the pop-ups. I don't want the sound. I don't want an email. And the webhook URL is the one that you are accustomed to. I don't want notify. I want the whatever. This is all default settings. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this all the way to here, and I'm going to paste it here. Maybe first I'll just delete the whole thing because it needs to be cleaned up. Okay, of course this is using formulas, so I'm going to use paste values. And now everything should be in place for me to import these 94 alerts into my trading view. I'm going to save this and I'm going to load it into my trading view. So I'm back into trading view. I'm going to refresh it once more just to make sure I have a complete clean QA import export enabled. So it's going to ask you, do you want to create the alerts? And you just press OK. You can see now this is automatically creating each and every alert that I have set up. It takes a long time to create a lot of alerts, as you might imagine. This is normal, but it reduces the human error of the interaction. Every single one I have to choose, every single one I have to copy paste, every single one I have to configure. And that's a pain in the ass if you ask me. I've made so many mistakes creating alerts for the wrong pair and the wrong tab in the wrong way. This way, I am 100% sure it creates exactly as I set it up. The important thing is you keep control of what you have on your Excel spreadsheet, and that will show everything. So that concludes my fourth tutorial on how to set up a profit trailer using PSAR indicators from STP. My idea now is to let it run for a bit, see if all alerts have been created successfully, and take it from there. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.